Hello, folks. This is the BlackWeasel, and today's One Piece chapter 845. Now, this is on a Wednesday, 3 at 3:40. That I noticed that the chapter came out, and so we're gonna go ahead and get right to it. Name of the chapter is called "The Enraged Army." It's probably after Cracker has been defeated. Now, there's a cover page request of Nami getting pampered by 5 little kittens, and one is laying down laying down very very tired from taking care of her, and one of them is a chef that makes some food for her, and and one kitten is waving a fan at her, and one kitten is doing her hair, and one kitten is serving drinks. Anyways, the scene continues on right after Luffy claims go on a hunger strike. And Nami says, Nami says, "You're not seriously just going to wait here, are you? We're right smack in the middle of the enemy grounds right now." And Luffy says, "Yeah." And he's been bloody up a lot worse than him going up against Cracker. And Nami says, "Remember what Pound told us about people who managed to be a commander in the past? Big Mom sends in her raged army along with the Daily Storm to finish them off. If you stay out in the open like the enemies might, and then Luffy, and then Luffy says by Sanji, and Luffy mumbles. He says, "Donji, build some. I'm gonna bait here." He meant to say, "Sanji will come. I'm gonna wait here," and she stutters. She shudders a little bit, and she says, "Huh?" And she asks, "Where do these storm clouds roll in from?" And King Bum says, "Ah." And Nami says, "What's wrong, King Bum?" And King Bum says, "On that mountain lies the whole cake Chateau where Mama resides. Mama is infuriated, Jew." And Nami is very, very shocked and scared at this. She says, "You don't mean to tell me, how can a single human possess this kind of power? Because Big Bomb is a Yonko after all." And there's a flashback of Pound saying, "Lilith is a woman with the ability to control and manipulate the weather. Once he crosses that line, there's absolutely nothing can quell her rage." And there's the waves. The waves are picking up in front of Whole Cake Island, and the scene changes to a sweet city. And the citizens of Sweet City says that Lord Prometheus and Lord Zeus are wreaking havoc. And somebody says Mama is a full-blown rage. So there's Zeus and Prometheus are wreaking havoc, but one of them is sad and one of them is smiling, so they don't look that scary. Anyways, the scene changes, and the German 66 have arrived, and the soldier says, "We are the army that shall avenge Lord Cracker. Clear the way. The enraged army is coming through." Dude, they're clones. They don't have any emotions in general. I don't get how that works. Anyways, the German 66 is coming through. And Ryuju says, look what we have here." And they're going to hunt down and kill that Straw Hat. And the German 66 are marching forward. And Yonji says, "That moron did say he was going to wait for you at that spot." And Yonji said, "Those guys are done for." And this is Big Mom's army. And Yonji says, they're not getting out of here this alive. Thrifty, Bobbin, Demon Lady, I met, Mont, they're described. I can't even count high enough to add up the total bounty of all the heavyweights here. Oh yes, I remember Bobbin. He was from chapter 652. That's the lady with a big hat that slaughtered a bunch of people, to get some flour. It looks also different. It's just ridiculous. And Sanji is very, very. As Sanji's looking at them, it's a flashback of Luffy saying, "I'm not budging an inch from the spot, Sanji." And then somebody says, well, I'm sure he's not idiotic enough to stay put after seeing an army like that. Ha ha ha. Anyways, the scene changes back where Luffy is, and Nami says rain. Because it's raining that's happening right now. And Nami notices that she says, no, this is Mizuame. It's a pun because Mizuame is a kind of Japanese candy. But, so this is candy rain. And Luffy is flipping over because he's still going on a hunger strike. And he says, I won't even let this Mizuame get in my mouth. I ain't eating a damn thing unless it's from Sanji. And Nami looks like she's about to cry. Anyways, the scene changes towards Chateau, and we get to see how pissed off Big Mama is. And someone says, Mama? And Big Mom says, huh? And a little kid says, Mama, the head chef won't let me borrow his knives. I wanted to mutilate my stuffed animal. That's weird. Anyway, the Big Mom says, well, then we have a problem here, don't we? And Big Mom says, Dulce, Draghi, go get them for her. And somebody says, no way, Mama. Every time we give Anana knives, she managed to pop all of our balloons. And another person says, yeah, she's rotten to the core, and I'm going to definitely kill her one day. And somebody else says, yeah, Mama, don't encourage such psychotic behavior like that. And Big Mom says, everyone... and Big Mom starts laughing, and she says, ha, ha, ha. Everyone has at least 100 or 200 people they want to kill. What? Just accept that fact and get along, my children. And then Big Mom says, tomorrow, your big sister Puddin will finally be getting married. The time has finally come. The family of her groom. And Big Mom says, ha ha ha, mama. I'm happy you're able to make it here, all the way here. Grandma 66. There was Pudding and there was Sanji, and they're all looking down. And Big Mom says, we had some minor issues, but everything will be fine now. And Big Mom, there's a double page, and Big Mom is a lot bigger than Vince Smoke Jaji. She's sitting at the same table as the Grandma 66. And Big Mom says, seriously though, I heard so much about you. A cook for Pudding's groom? That's just perfect. Well, not that it really makes much difference. The main purpose of this marriage is to cement our alliance in stone. As long as you and I are on the same page, Judge, it should be smooth sailing from here on out. Ha ha ha. And Judge says, yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. However, I shall simply add that the lasting happiness of our children come first and foremost. That's weird. He doesn't want Sanji to be happy. That's why he managed to get him to be married as well. Anyways, Vince Mojaji smiles like he's kind of bogus himself for what he's doing. He says, "I wish all the best for tomorrow's ceremony. I guarantee it shall be a day that none of us forgets." And anyways, there are two T's that are singing black tea, green tea, black tea, green tea. Which of us? And Sanji says black tea for me. Yes, for black leg Sanji. And green tea falls over and he says, "Yah!" And the tea says, "Yeah." And hold on, it's a major coincidence. I actually made some green tea as well, but I do it just so that I can constrict the fat still. So I think it cooled down already. So I'm gonna take a minor break and go get the green tea. Here it is. The talking black tea is getting poured into the cups. Tippity tap. Anyways, and the talking food says, "Eat me, eat me, eat me first." I think that's steak and some hot dogs. And don't you dare forget about me. And The honey says, honey, take as much as you want, little boys. And I think one of the potatoes is super really sweet. And there's more and more talking foods saying wieners, cabbage, ham, pancake. We're all super tasty. And Sanji says, how about you guys pat down for me? And the talking food says, what? Oh, don't be that way. Let's have a fun jelly lunch. And, and Yanchi says, what a sexually fat lot of food. And one of the food says, yeah, how am I? Do I please your palate? And Pudding says, and Pudding says Sanji, and he passes him a note. And Sanji looks at the note and says, we need to talk in private later. The note says, we need to talk in private later. Anyway, the scene changes back towards just outside Sweet City, where Luffy's location is. And King Bob says, heaven's no good, you. And Nami says, please, all I'm asking is that you hide. And King Bomb says, you won't be breaking your promise if you move a tiny bit away from this place. And Luffy says, not a chance. And Sanji shows up. And Sanji shows up, he'll think I'll left. You guys can go if you want. And Nami says, Luffy, I'm begging you. Don't you understand whose territory you're in? And Nami says, you stand a zero chance of taking down an army of that size. And Luffy says, I already made my promise, so I'm staying right here. Also, someone's talking on Den Den Mushi and saying, we located Straw Hat Luffy, so this is the Gurma 66. I think. I can't wait. This is gonna be fun, like. And as the scene changes towards inside the whole cake Chateau, in Pudding's room, and I think that clock can talk or hear stuff. And anyways, Pudding says, "Please forgive me. I was unable to keep my promise with Luffy and his comrades." She also says, "It's my fault that they're in all this trouble right now." And Sanji says, "I see. I was wondering how they managed to get here through that heavily guarded port at sea." And Sanji says, "But either way, I wouldn't have gone to the coast." And there's a question mark bubble. And Pudding says, if you're talking about the invitation, if I took all the blame for you, everything would have worked out. Once you attend the ceremony, your chances of escape become nigh. And Pudding says, now that Mama's so familiar with forced marriages, she makes it a point to put these ominous risks on people who give her the slightest inkling that they may run. And Pudding says, once they place on you, you'll no longer have any options. So, like, the obvious step is to get the key. And Sanji says, you're talking about these? And there it is. And Pudding says, oh dear. And Sanji says, your mama has the keys to these. If you want to steal them back, our only recourse is to take on it and defeat her entire crew. What the heck? Like, just one guy? And Pudding says, it can't be. Has Mama already begun to move? Yes, and to make matters worse. Oh, God. Oh, God. Sanji says, as if this very moment, I don't have a single ally I can count on. He rips off the face mask he got from taking a beating from Riju. No, from Ichinuji. Sanji said, we may be related by blood, and Pudding is very, very shocked at what's happening. Sanji says, but this is what they really think of me. I'm nothing more than a failure in the eyes of my so-called family. And everything and compassion are foreign to them when it comes to me. I never, not once, gotten joy in having been born a royal. That's why I left with a seed in the first place. In search of a place I wasn't sure even existed, which is the all blue. Dang, poor Sanji. Poor Prince. Witnesses those injuries. Sanji says, but if I try and resist this marriage, all my friends, everyone I hold dear will suffer the consequences. To make matters worse, the man I consider my father, who happens to reside in East Blue, is also at risk. They're just looking for an excuse to pounce on that savior of mine too. I carefully weighed my options, but there's no place for me to run. That's why I decided to quit struggling and just go with the flow. In exchange, I want the Big Mom to let my friends off her hook. But instead of that, at this very moment, they're all there trying to find and destroy him. And Pudding feels very, very awful. And she says, I'm so sorry. My own mother has put all of you in such a precarious situation. And Sanji says, no, there's no need for you to apologize. None of this is on you, Pudding. Sanji says, until 13 years ago, I lived in pure hell. I returned to that hell now, but during those 13 years I was away, I was greeted for a lifestyle that allowed me to be incredibly happy. Sanji says, everyone I met during that time, they're all my saviors. My only wish is to disappear from all their lives without hurting a single one of them. And Sanji says, my adventure must come to an end here. And Pudding says, ugh. And she's about to cry. And Sanji says, hey, stop with the waterworks already. You're already making me feel bad here. And Pudding says, Sanji, I won't let this marriage of ours turn into that kind of hell for you. And she starts crying as well. And yeah, she's a really nice lady. And Sanji looks at her. And Pudding says, forgive me. I shouldn't be so presumptuous. Come on, man. Forgive me. I shouldn't be so presumptuous. Especially at a time like this. Of course you have a grudge against this marriage. I have overstepped my boundaries. My apologies. Anyways, there's a scene going on where it's Luffy and Big Mom, Luffy and Nami up against the German soldiers and Big Mom pirates. And Pudding says, I just met you. There's no way I'll be able to fill in a big hole in your heart right now. And besides, you never even uttered a single word about us marrying. But here, I'm just assuming that you're only savior. You are my only savior right now. If you really don't mind being, then tomorrow, let's do it. Let's get married. What the heck? Now, during the conversation, Luffy is pissed off and he starts attacking the Big Mom soldiers. And he uses Gomu Gomu no Hawk Gatling. Like, it was a form of jet Gatling. And we see Bobbin that's about to attack him. And also, meanwhile, Sanji holds Pudding together. And it turns out they'll end up getting married. And the whole point of this is just so that everyone will be safe. Yes, that's how it is. Chapter 845 has come to a close. And there's a break next week. Oh my god. That's alright, man. That's alright. It's all for the goodness of Oda's health. Because, like, I saw in the news report, he sleeps 3 hours a day while he works the rest of the time. So it's just ridiculous to be a manga artist. And there's no 9 to 5 grind time, so, like, he does this every single day. Ugh, that's ridiculous. Like, alright, that's it.